For this stream, I wanted to give a tour of a home that I built in the cottage living pack. Excuse me. I just recently downloaded this pack, like everyone else. I think it just came out like last week or a week before. Um, I hadn't done a whole lot with it yet, so this is actually my first full build that I've completed. And um, yeah, let's go ahead and get started. So I am calling this build the Rosehill Cottage, and this is actually inspired by a movie. It's inspired by a 2006 movie called The Holiday with Kate Winslet and Cameron Diaz. It's a romantic comedy. It's a cute little movie, but I seem to enjoy it. But one thing I loved was the English countryside cottage that was in the movie. It was originally the home of Kate Winslet's character, but if you watch the movie, her and Cameron Diaz's character, they do like a house sharing thing. I guess this was 2006. This was before Airbnb came out. Um, yeah, they switch homes, they find love, hijinks ensue. But anyway, this home is on the gallery. It is under my EA ID is DorianKoholi. I'll go ahead and post it at the bottom. But let's go ahead and see the description. So this cottage was inspired by Rosehill Cottage from the movie The Holiday, and is a 2-bedroom, 1-bath country home built on the Cordelia secret cottage lot. Enjoy the peace and tranquility of this private oasis with gorgeous views of the Bramblewood. This lot was built using only base game and cottage living, but there is room for a washer and dryer for you use laundry day. And that's something you'll see. That's something I try to include in all my builds because it makes sense for a house to have washer and dryer hookup. So, but I know not everyone has laundry day, so I try to leave room for you to put that in if you want. If not, you can put whatever else you want in there. Yeah, so here's the screenshots from the gallery. And then before we actually dive into the build itself, I kind of want to show the inspiration videos from pictures from it. So this is houseandgarden.co.uk. This is a picture of the home from the movie, which I actually did not realize before this was not an actual house. They built this specifically for the movie. You can see the outside. It's just basically, I would consider it like a basic stone English cottage. Lots of plants. As we scroll down a little bit, we can see some other pictures. So there's Cameron Diaz in the tub. But yeah, so here's a view of the kitchen. I tried to recreate the first floor as best I could from the movie. I did take a few liberties, and the second floor I just kind of put together what I thought would make sense. So there are obviously some changes from the second floor. If you watch the movie, yeah, so here's the kitchen from the movie, and they show some like real life inspiration, so we're gonna skip over those. This is the view of the living room area. One thing I was actually kind of excited to create, I love the beams are everywhere, which this is an older building, so it makes sense. They have beams for support. So I tried to recreate that using the spandrels and the columns, and you'll see that when we get to the build. But here's a view of the kitchen, the main entrance area, and another view of the living room, and another, I guess, modern-ish inspiration of that. But yeah, just another view of the living room. They had a reading nook in the movie off the kitchen. I took some liberties, so I did not include this in the actual build, but there are enough bookcases, I think, to somewhat recreate this. But I thought having the space off the kitchen be best used as like a utility area, as you'll see in the build. But yeah, so those are some of the pictures from the movie. If you haven't seen the movie, like I said, it's not a best picture winner, but I thought it was a cute enough movie. We'll go ahead and get to the actual build. So we'll close out the gallery view, and let's go ahead and get started. So I built this on a lot for Cordelia's secret cottage, and the reason I did this, I liked that it was a smaller lot. It was kind of secluded off to itself. I thought this would be a good opportunity for kind of like a private, a little private home. Oops, went too far. All right. So yeah, it's a residential lot. It's on 30 by 20. The lot itself comes to comes to just under 60,000 simoleons. But it is 2 bedroom, 1 bath. As far as traits and challenges go, I did the romantic aura just because I figured little secluded English cottage. It's kind of romantic in of itself. Um, Natural well. I figured since this is right by the waterfalls, it would make sense that there would be like a natural. I said natural well. Yeah, natural well. It would make sense if there was kind of like a natural well here. And with that in mind, I did include a little wishing well off to the side. But and then I made it a private dwelling. I figured since it's so far out of the way from everything, you're probably not gonna get too many visitors. So I try to recreate that with private dwelling. And then for lot challenges, by default, I put simple living in. I actually haven't played too much with simple living, but from what I've seen other people's let's plays, I like the idea of it. I like the idea of that you go down you have to actually buy all your groceries before you can cook anything. And I love the idea of having your character, having your sim in here. This would kind of force them to interact a little bit with the town. I know you can do like food delivery, but I hope you take advantage of the opportunity. Go down to town, kind of see everyone, get involved in the game, in the story. So obviously, if you download these, you can change these whatever you want, but that's just what I wanted to do. Let's go ahead and close this out, and let's go ahead and take a look at the outside. So yeah, we just have a traditional, I'd say fairly traditional, 2-story English cottage. I don't know if you can see from the original video, there was kind of a beam that was exposed on the exterior, so I recreated that on this side. The house also had 2 fireplaces, so I recreated that, have one in for the kitchen, one for the living room. The garden lot area, I just did a partial stone fence all the way around, and I did a lot of just grass and wildflowers. Then we kind of have a path going around to the back where we have our well. And then we have our little bay window for a reading nook. And then we have our, what I would consider like the utility area. I did a different type of shingle and a different type of siding because I would imagine this would be like a newer part of the house. So it may not have the original stone and shingles as the original house, but we have our trash can. Since this is simple living, I didn't want to do like a full-on garden or make this like a full-on farm, but I did include like a little garden, a couple little gardens plots, and just some, a table with some additional flowers. Obviously, if you want to add, stable, chicken coop, whatever, I just didn't. I know in the movie, Kate Winslet's character Iris, I don't get the vibe that she's a farmer. I think she's a book editor. So I wouldn't imagine her running a full-scale farm, but I figured she might do a little bit of gardening. So I had a couple little garden pots here. I have a bird bath surrounded by wildflowers, a little bench under the tree, if you want to come out here and read. And then I put this, the reason I put this on Cordelia's, on this particular lot was just because you have this view of like everything, which I thought was pretty awesome. Again, it's nice and secluded, but it's still, you still see some houses, you see a little bit of the town off in the distance, but yeah, so that is the exterior. Oh, and I did little wisteria vines growing up on the tree. Thought that was a cute little touch. Again, this is just base game and cottage living. If I was using additional packs, I would have used some of the vines from University. I think there's a few more options there, which I thought would have gone really well with this. Obviously, if you download it, you can change it however you'd like, but yeah. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at the first floor. So I'll put walls up at first, just so you can see what I tried to recreate as far as like the support beams and the columns. There are a few more columns than there would have been in the actual movie, and I did that because the way I wanted the beam set up, if I didn't put a column in, you kind of have like this weird little outcropping that's kind of just sitting in the middle of nowhere. So I figured I put the columns in, and everything works around it. It actually kind of helps break up the area a little bit more. So we have our little living area with a fireplace and a few decorations. I did use Move Objects to put a flower pot in this window. I didn't realize you actually couldn't put anything in this bay window, which I thought was a missed opportunity. So I put a little flower pot back there. You have the reading nook. Since this is an older English home, I put a sword and shield. I figured it's maybe someone in your Sims family is descended from, you know, knight or something like that. But we have our bookshelf. We have another little book over here, and then so we have our little teapot over here. We have a coat rack, you know, a couple coat racks, a little basket with our pillows and blankets. And then we have our kitchen, which, and not a completely faithful recreation, but I think I did. Honestly, I think I did a pretty good job. So this is the cottage living cabinet set, obviously. I do also have country kitchen. I was half tempted to try to use some of that in here, but I did, for the sake of, you know, people downloading this, I wanted to limit the number of packs. But you know, feel free to tweak this as needed. But we have the stove, a smoke detector, obviously, safety first, and then we have our fridge. And forgive me for the camera. I did put a little crock pot thing on top of the fridge. I figured that'd be, you know, a realistic way that you would probably store something like that. We have our little desk with a little notebook, and we have for the living room. As far as the fireplaces go, I just did a traditional fireplace. I used the one that I think this also came with Cottage Living that kind of has like the wood stove built into it. I figured back when this home was probably first built, this would have been the oven. So to me, it would make sense to have like the little hearth in here with the firewood off to the side. Yeah, that's the first floor. We have our stairs. I put a little reef. Yeah, let's look at, so this is the utility room. This was the reading nook in the movie version, but to me, it made more sense that this was kind of like a mudroom / utility room. So again, do just a view of the walls. Oh, one thing I would want to add for the walls, I think I did unbend smoothness everywhere just because I like the kind of rough, plastery, you know, a little faded, maybe a little chipped in some spots. I thought this wall, I think it's wallpaper. I thought this kind of lent itself to that very well. But anyway, here is our little mudroom area. We have a rug, and I said I did not put a washer and dryer in here just because I did not want the laundry day pack to be attached to this. However, I did put room. So if you wanted to put a little washer and dryer, I think it would work out very well in here. You could also do the little wash tub, and I also think a clothesline would probably be really cute out here as well. Again, once you download this pack, if you have the laundry day pack, you can add these in yourself. Remove them for now. This utility room has a door leads to the outside, and again has that little walking path out to the front. Yeah, I think that is the first floor in a nutshell. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I wanted to call out. Oh, I did play test everything, so you see some of these chairs are a little tight up against the columns, but my sim was able to go in, sit in everything. When they lit the fire, they did start a fire, so it's possible some of this stuff may be too close to the fireplace. Either that, or that was my first time my sim actually tried to light a fire. So just, you know, maybe be careful with that. Feel free to tweak it as needed. This fireplace shouldn't give you any issues, just because I think this is far enough from everything. I know in the original Sims, I don't know if there's so much in here, you put a rug right next to the fireplace, you're guaranteed to pretty much burn your house down. So yeah, and that is it for the first floor. Let's go up to the second floor. Yeah, the second floor, they don't. I think they show like Iris's bedroom in the movie, but even then, I took a few liberties. But I tried to just recreate a space that I thought would make more sense. So we have a single bathroom off to the side. We have our little stair landing area. We have two bedrooms. We have a larger master bedroom, and then we have a guest room, and we have like a little office nook type thing with the little B stained glass. And then yeah, let's look at the main bedroom. So main bedroom, you have the bed, we have the chair. There's no TV downstairs, but I figured they want to watch TV, they put a TV up here. I did not realize at the time that the sim can actually sit in bed and watch TV. which makes sense. 1 second. Okay. Sorry about that. But yeah, so I did not realize that the sim would sit in bed and watch TV would make sense, but I did put a little love seat here just because I feel that'd be a cute little addition as well. We have our little vanity. We have some cosmetic products. And yeah, that's it for the bedroom. So a lot of times in my builds, I try to put in space for a closet. However, I think it's fairly realistic that a house that is probably a couple hundred years old might not have a dedicated closet space. So I didn't have a lot of room to really put a closet and kind of do like the floor plan I wanted to do, but B, it made sense that there isn't necessarily one. So I did put a couple clothes racks and a shoe rack in here. And yeah. So we have our little office nook area. I did not put any computers in this property. I put notebooks instead, but feel free to switch one of these out for a laptop or a desktop, whatever will work better for your sim. Yeah, this room is fairly straightforward. There's an archway leading from the little stairs landing area. There is a chair and a lamp. And then we have the guest room, which, you know, fairly straightforward. We have a single bed, a dresser. I think these are the Roman architecture. Yeah, Roman temple architectural, which I thought, you know, were cute, older style looking pictures that would kind of fit in here. We have a mirror, and yeah. So one thing I do want to call out, I didn't put a lot of the support beams in here because I figured the walls would probably be carrying the brunt of that. So, but I did put columns in a lot of the corners just to kind of recreate that a little bit. And our bathroom. So our bathroom, we have a fairly traditional sink and toilet. I did put the little just for me bath basket on top of the toilet. I figured that would make sense. I have the clawfoot tub, I think from Cottage Living. I did add a shower. I figured whoever owned this house along the line probably would have added in a shower at some point. So I put a fairly modern looking shower in here. I figured, you know, I don't think it breaks immersion because you figure, you know, even though this house is probably several hundred years old, your Sims are living in the present day. So they would probably have a shower. Yeah, we have our bath towel, we have our toilet paper. You know, fairly straightforward, bathroom. And then yeah, if you wanted to expand upon this at all, I could potentially see, you know, maybe reconfiguring this office space to add like a master bathroom, or maybe even reducing the size of the master bedroom to include a second bath. But to me, it would make sense that a home of this era would only have one bathroom, so that's how I kind of left it. And then, yep, nothing about the roof. For the chimneys, I used walls to build the actual like chimney stacks, and then I used the all New Henford's finest chimney, and I kind of did move objects to kind of place it in the little hole here. So. But yeah, so that is the house in a nutshell. Again, if you've seen the movie, this is where I drew inspiration, but this is obviously not completely true to life. Well, see, yeah, I say even true to life. A, it's a movie. B, it's not even a real house. It was just a set that was built. But I did try to, at the very least, I tried to recreate a lot of the first floor as close to the movie version as it was. The second floor, I obviously took some liberties, as well as the lot itself. But yeah, so we have another view. Here is our Rosehill Cottage, situated at the top of Cordelia Falls in the Brambleton in Henford-on-Bagley. And that is all. I hope you all enjoy and hope you have a great day. And like I said, again, if you'd like to download this lot, it is available on the gallery. My Twitch user, my EA ID is DorianKoholi, which I will put again on the screen. And I have a few other lots as well, but feel free to check them out, and I hope you like. Thank you very much, and I hope you guys have a great day.